ran Moody team and got to like number 3 on the ladder, which I don't count as my highest on the ladder because it's not fair. And the other 2 guys ahead of me also were using Moody. Like, hey, we both wore the same dress to the prom. You were gonna baton pass too? Wow. But yeah, that should stay banned from Ubers forever.
Banned from Ubers.
I can't wait until they add Moody Arceus.
Moody Arceus.
Wow, that does sound.
It sounds
That
like
wouldn't
if
that
they
wouldn't
added
make any sense.
if they added Moody Arceus, I would never go back on Pokemon again.
I would never go back on Ubers again. Arceus is already broken in Ubers, and then give it Moody? To be
Yeah,
broken in Ubers is one thing, and then you just give it Moody. What do you use it in? Arceus tier?
there used to be a God tier back in Gen 4.
Well, that was the unreleased tier.
All right. Is everybody happy about the W2 update? We can move on to tier change vote.
Yeah.
All right, tier change vote. We're probably gonna try to move Kyurem down and Dragonite and Jirachi up.
I really don't want Kyurem to fall. Or do I?
Well, we're gonna put it up for vote because I don't think it's fair that we just straight banned it because some people were like, but.
Like, Imminency raged so hard. He doesn't know how to argue. It was so funny. He was like, well, it has a high base stat total. And I was like, that's your argument. It has a high base stat total.
Does anybody... Again, I had this argument in the last podcast. If some Pokemon had 700 base speed and, like, base 10 and every other stat, would it be good? Or would it just have a really high base stat total?
Yeah. But we're gonna have the Mew argument, where Mew was in Ubers in 4th Gen, and Shaman was in UU. Yes, actually, Mew was Uber, believe it or
That's
not.
right, actually.
I know, it seems so far-fetched now, but it was.
Wait, Farfetch is an Uber too? Ha ha ha.
Oh,
But, yeah, so we have Celebi and Jirachi who are OU, and Mew and Shaman and Victini who are UU, and Manaphy's Ubers, and they all have the same base stat total. So you really can't say, well, base stat total makes it Uber, because it doesn't make anything Uber. You can have the best base stat total ever, and it's just be terrible.
yeah.
They could make
Like Slacking and Regigigas.
they could make you a poison fire type.
Although I want a Poison Fire type with Balloon now.
Now, I don't want to complain about Smogon's CAP process, but I'll save that for a different podcast.
I keep forgetting about Cap.
Yeah, I used to bitch to Invalid every day about Cap.
About what?
Because Smogon made this Pokemon who was a poison fire type, and their goal was to take a bad typing and make it good to highlight the aspects of the typing. And they were going to do that with Drought. Like,
The thing that would make Magikarp good.
Anything becomes usable with Drought. Duh. That doesn't highlight the aspects of the typing. Ooh, a fire type with Drought. That's really strange. Even though it was strange up until this gen, for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Why make Groudon, a ground type, have Drought? That doesn't
Because
even...
his name is Groudon, come on. It's not Firedon.
But I mean, what were they even thinking when they did that? Let's give the water one Stab, and not give the other one Stab.
Because physical fire type moves didn't exist yet.
Yeah, but they could have just given it Eruption and given it a special base. It could have just
Kyogre
been exactly... It could have been exactly the same thing as Kyogre, only fire type.
Groudon is physical, Kyogre is special, and Rayquaza is broken.
Well, yeah, making 2 of the exact same Pokemon worked out fine with Thundurus and Tornadus.
Yeah, except one of them doesn't have Nasty Plot.
Yeah, except one of them much shadowed by its
It's
electric
weak.
type friend.
Yeah, but back to the thing. Jirachi's broken. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I'm totally agreeing that Jirachi's 100% broken.
Yes, it's the battles that the person should not win that they do win.
Like hacks can change the game. We all know that. A Pokemon that can reliably summon hacks.
That's a Pokemon. See, let's see. Sandville Garchomp, you miss Sandville Garchomp, what,
And it's the game.
15% of the time? Well, Jirachi confuses you 30% of the time because it actually confuses you 60% and you hit yourself in confusion 50.
Actually, confusion is a 50% chance to hit yourself, right?
Yeah. So I'm saying
Okay.
50% of 60% is 30%. So Jirachi is more hacksy than Garchomp.
Add that to the chance it will paralyze you and have you confused at the same time, and that it can learn Iron Head. Not that anybody would be stupid enough to run Water Pulse, Thunder Wave, and Iron Head on the same set, but if they did, your ass would never move.
Yes, and it would be a 100 turn battle in which eventually Jirachi killed something and then died.
I can't be the only person who's had a Heatran die to Jirachi with Iron Head.
You're not.
It,
But
like,
that's usually when my Heatran's at 20% health and I bring it in.
I had to bring it in because I had nothing else that could handle Jirachi. And then I got paralyzed with a body slam, and then 32 turns later, I died from Iron Head. It's not even cool, bro.
Did we skip right to tier voting? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that was number 2.
yeah, it is. Shut up, dude. I know what I'm doing.
I misread bitching about UE as tier voting.
I'm voting all of UE to Ubers.
Yes, I'm gonna vote to ban Raven.
Oh. By the way, I'm gonna read that first verse of my unfinished poem in the bitching about UE. It's gonna be a good one, guys. But then the other Pokemon that is controversial about its well, there are two that are controversial. The one that is not banned yet is Dragonite, or Fragonite, as it should be named.
Yes. As
Fra-
PIA is credited for that by accident.
he was typing really fast because he was pissed, and he typed Fragonite instead of Dragonite, and that sounds way cooler than Dragonite. And if we had our way, you'd all be battling with Fragonites right now, but apparently we can't edit the client that way.
I can edit the client when I release our private version.
Yeah, you'll all be battling with Fragonites in the near future, but you'll all be battling with Fragonite in Ubers because he's broken.
It's broken as fuck.
Yes. The only reason these bans are controversial is because because other servers won't ban them. It's not because they're not broken. I'm pretty sure everyone acknowledges that both of these Pokemon are broken.
Like,
Because
see,
Smogon says that it's not broken, it isn't for other people.
well, yeah, we all know that Caesar is number one on the usage, but it's not number one on the usage because it easily rapes through things. It's number one on the usage because it has a decent attack stat, move pool, and typing. It's not unfair.
It's
You can
it's a
counter
revenge
ability.
killer, is what it is.
Caesar is easily countered. There are lots of things that Caesar can't break through, no matter
Caesar
what.
is basically a much less broken version of Ditto. It's a revenge killer.
And then we come to Dragonite, who has bulk to start with. Then you add multi-scale, so it can't be one-shotted by any attack this side of a +1 Gene-Sect Ice Beam.
Which is Uber.
And then you add Dragon Dance, Choice Band, Parashuffler. If versatility is a reason to ban a Pokemon, then Dragonite should have been banned a long time ago.
Yeah, and Hurricane.
There's a rain tank set. There's a rain sweep set. There's a choice band set. There's a revenge killing set. There's a parashuffling set. There's a setup sweeper set.
Banded, Scarfed, Specs, Life Orb, Leftovers, Expert Bell. It can use any item, any move. It's Super Lucario.
You can slap.
Super Lucari.
You can pick any four of Dragonite's very competitive moves, any four of them, and slap them on a set, and you'll probably kill something.
As long as you remember to go to Advanced Window and click the little button that says Multi-Skill.
By the way, when we're talking about banning Dragonite, we're not talking about banning Inner Focus. We're talking about banning. Hey, question.
Multi-scale.
We're talking about banning multi-scale.
Yes, we don't ban Pokemon outright unless the Pokemon is broken outright.
Yeah. And then we have Jirachi, who, unfortunately for Jirachi, has one ability.
Yes. If we are successful in banning, well, I shouldn't talk about my ambitions because people are like, I better not ban Dragonite or he'll want to ban this, this, and this. It's the domino effect of banning Pokemon.
If you give him Valid a cookie, he'll ban everything.
Yes. Analysis section, or are we still voting?
I think we're done. Oh yeah, there was one more Pokemon I wanted to talk about for tier change. His name is Genesect. He's been
Isn't
banned.
it banned?
Yeah, it is banned, but this vote gives it an opportunity to be unbanned. The only reason I think that it wasn't unbanned in the last tier vote is because nobody thought about it. They were all like, Darkrai is OU and Jirachi and Dragonite are Ubers, let's fix that.
I prefer it banned. It's broken as hell. I mean,
I think it's broken as hell too. I think
You're
though if people
broken.
I think if people would have saw that it was banned, they probably would have reacted, but nobody thought about that. The ones that were odd to them were the ones that were like, Jirachi is my staple of my team. You can't ban Jirachi. What is Darkrai doing in Standard?
wow. And plus, if people were to come from beta server who played DW, they would vote Genesect down
Oh.
in a heartbeat because it's
Oh
on
my god.
90% of all teams on beta Dream World. Or it's so
Genesect and
ridiculous.
Heatran.
Genesect and Heatran over and over and over. Just run a Rotom H and you could probably run Rotom H and nothing else and get to 1100 ranking with just one Pokemon.
What, with those two? Well, I know that Heatran Genesect core is common, but yeah, I don't even have anything to say. It's just when I have Landorus-T out there on the field, they're gonna die because they don't have any ideas.
Like, what
I
do
had
I do? A
I had
faster U-turner with Earthquake.
I had Genesect, Heatran, and 4 Rattatats. I'm not sure. I never needed anything else before. But yeah, Genesect's probably gonna stay banned, but feel free to nominate it.
Yes, and we will bitch at you.
Because seriously, Bug Steel type, not broken. Bug Steel type with download, eh. Bug Steel type with download, massive attack stats, and both stats, and a move pool from here to Canada, that's probably a little bit stretching it.
Okay, Menency, if you have a
Oh,
completely viable argument, feel free to reply.
by the
But
way,
if you don't,
Genesect as a whole is technically not banned, only Genesect's regular form. So if people are going to try to use Aqua Cassette or anything like that, they can.
What? Those are
Yes,
alternate forms.
yes, those are alternate
yeah,
forms.
it's an alternate form. Wow,
And
that's
by the
a fact.
way, probably shouldn't mention this, but it's not. Its alternate forms aren't banned from creative or inspired either.
Well, my new Inspired team has Burning Cassette Genesect on it. Because I like the red. It's not that I'm going to use Techno Buster, I just like what color it turns. Oh, by the
Yeah,
way, Game Freak,
flamethrower is
why
still
would you give...
better.
By the way, Game Freak, why would you give a Pokemon a signature move that is worse than moves you gave it? Techno Buster Fire is worse than Flamethrower. Techno Buster Ice is worse than Ice Beam.
Technobuster Water would be worse than Surf, but it doesn't get Surf.
So if you want to run Techno Buster Water, you've just added a move to a Gen 6 move pool it doesn't need.
Hey, Bolt Beam
That's true.
Thrower, you know what that's missing? Weak Surf.
What?
What's missing?
Yeah, it's missing Fire. coverage with surfing coverage.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move on to the analysis section, which is just going to be a really quick plug that says, analysis section is open thanks to some creative dick sucking.
Yes, it was done by